People think living in the projects is the opposite of working a corporate job, like they're worlds apart or something. And they probably think this for a number of reasons, but the truth is that both are designed to keep you stuck. They're the same system with different packaging. Both the projects and the corporate America system makes it hard to escape. Both are designed to keep you dependent, tired, and way too busy to think about anybody's freedom. And that's what I want to talk about today, while I have a few minutes of downtime on my corporate job. Imagine living in the projects. You're hustling just to keep the lights on. You have more health issues because you can't afford to eat wholesome organic foods. And most times you're feeding your family for breakfast and dinner sometimes on the local fast food joint. Let me tell you, there was a time I was in Mickey D's every single morning for breakfast with my daughter. This belly of mine has seen many egg McMuffin and sausage and egg platters too. But being in the projects, it creates anxiety. And then you and your spouse, if you have one, if you're not a single parent household, you're constantly arguing about bills, about money. In corporate America, sure, you may have a gorgeous place to live, but you're still hustling. You're hustling to pay for this place that you barely even get time to enjoy. And then you have your lease payments for the luxury car you probably own, and that stack of work that your boss keeps piling on your work desk. I mean, do you even have time to get it done? Do you even have time to take a vacation? It all just starts to take its toll as well. Yet you can't take that vacation because you've been told it's never the right time. Being in the projects creates anxiety. And then you and your spouse, if you even have one, because you might be a single family household trying to juggle all this by yourself, but you're constantly arguing about bills and money. And in corporate America, sure, you may have a gorgeous place to live. You may even be single, but you're still hustling to pay for this place that you're barely home to enjoy. And then you have your lease payments on your luxury vehicle that you probably own, and that stack of work that your boss keeps piling on your desk every week. It all starts to take its toll as well. Yet you can't take vacation because you know what? It's not the right time. This is not a good time for you to leave right now, or you're gonna have to be available during your vacation. Like, when is the right time? So whether it's the projects or whether it's a 9 to 5, it's the same grind, but a different trap. So whether it's the projects or a 9 to 5, it's a different grind, but it's the same trap. They both keep you stuck and controlled. The projects control you through dependence with things like rent assistance, food stamps. They always give you just enough to keep you afloat, but never enough to swim. Did you know that many projects have rules about who can live there with you, how much you can earn, or rather how little you can earn, and even how late that you, in your own place, can have guests over? Corporate America controls too. It controls you through fear of losing your paycheck, fear of being replaced, fear of stepping out and trying something new. As I got older, I worked my way into corporate America and I thought, oh my gosh, wow, I finally made it. But guess what? It was the same thing. I got a paycheck that was just enough to keep me coming back, a boss who thought they owned me, and a system that didn't care if I burnt out or broke down. Remember that time in one of my videos I talked to you guys about how I fell at work? Do you think anybody cared that if I hurt myself or not? They were like, oh, well, are you okay? And that was it. That was it. Corporate America gives you just enough to stay comfortable, but not free. They have all these rules in corporate America too, like when you can take vacation, what time you can leave, and how much you're allowed to earn before you threaten the whole system. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. My company has it so that each job title gets paid a certain amount. Nothing more than that, nothing less. So when you come in and you're hired, you're automatically at that level. So after I asked for a raise, one of the employers told me that one of the reasons I should not get a raise outside of this company was because what I did for a living in healthcare, people with my job experience shouldn't make as much as they do anyway.
Oh my God!
So that's why the company shouldn't be expected to pay me more. I was like,
what now?
first of all, they know nothing nor understand how important my job title is in the healthcare profession and that we are the backbone of the whole office. Yet they assume that, okay, we just get paid so much because, well, I don't know. I guess they think that the employers just want to give their money away or something. How dumb is that? And then they give us 17 vacation days. 17 vacation days out of 365 days in a year. How is that time off? And then when you try to take the time off, they always complain that it's a terrible time. Yet they won't even carry the days over to the following year if it's such a terrible time. And then after a while, you fall victim to their brainwashing. And you start to change your own mindset and convince yourself that, well, at least with corporate America, I have a job. At least I have benefits and a steady paycheck. Isn't that what you've told yourself many times before? I hear the conversations all the time. Meanwhile, you're one bad manager with an attitude or a layoff away from losing everything. I mean, being in corporate, I'd be sitting in meetings and daydreaming about building my own business. But by the time I got home, I was so drained that all I could do was eat, scroll on my phone, and go to bed. And by the way, don't worry, we are going to talk about some solutions to this. So watch till the end to hear how you can rise up out of this current situation if you're in it. But these systems, they don't care about your dreams. Check out this next video, either here or here. I'm going to put it somewhere. And it's where I talked about the American dream. And in that video, you'll find out exactly why the system just doesn't care. They care so little that they'll give you a pizza party instead of a raise and call it appreciation. Perfect example. At my job, they said they didn't have any money for bonuses, right? But they wanted to have a Christmas party. So instead of taking that money and giving everybody, some of the money that they would spend on a Christmas party, put it in a bonus form, but they didn't want to do that. So the other thing is the majority of the folks that work here are not Christian. They don't celebrate Christmas. So, okay, they said, well, we'll call it an employee celebration party and have it in January. Well, January came and went, and so did the employers because they went out of the country on a vacation for a month. And what did we get? Nothing. And when they came back, everybody was like, oh, did you hear anything? Did you hear anything? No, they didn't mention anything. And they acted like it was absolutely nothing. They probably said, oh, they probably forgot about it by now. And we just had a huge evaluation from the state, which gave us the highest praise for the work we're doing. And even the officers from the state asked, how are you able to keep employees working for so little? You know what they said? Oh, we've been very lucky. Well, the have been. And in the projects, it's more of the same. You're working, raising kids, dealing with stress, and by the end of the day, dreaming, that feels like a luxury. You don't have time to just relax and you just go right to sleep, you're so tired. And then you think, at least I have a roof over my head. But if you start making too much money when you're in the projects, they penalize you and raise your rent or even kick you out. I'm telling you, it's all an illusion of security. In either scenario, whether it's the projects or a 9-to-5, you're stressed from not having enough. Whether that be money or not enough vacation time, is just constant stress, constant worry, and that feeling of being stuck. It makes you feel like you're always in survival mode. Whether it's paying rent in the projects or hitting deadlines in a cubicle, you're just too tired to dream bigger. So both systems sell you an idea of security, But is it really secure if you're constantly worried about making ends meet? So how do you break free? Breaking free starts with changing your mindset. Breaking free starts with realizing the system ain't built for you to win. Whether it's government assistance or corporate promotions, they're both designed to keep you dependent. So you have to make your own path. Once I realized this, honey, I stopped seeing my 9 to 5 as my end goal, and I started seeing it as my investor. That mindset shift changed everything for me. That's when I decided, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. I didn't even know how I was gonna do it differently, but I made the decision in my mind. I made it and I said, you know what, I'm sticking to it. That was the change that I made. The first thing I did, I stopped working so many late hours. Y'all, I was working 12-hour days for them. That stopped immediately. And then I only did things that were in my job description. No extras, no favors for the pat on the back, nothing of the kind. Secondly, I started using my paycheck more intentionally to invest in my own freedom. I started paying off debt. I started investing, starting a side hustle business, and starting this YouTube channel. And if you're in the projects, start thinking about how to build something outside of the system. Location does not mean you no longer have your brain. Use your God-given creativity and create. Now, breaking free doesn't happen overnight. It starts with small steps, saving $10 a week, learning a new skill, or working on a side hustle after hours. But consistency is the key. I mean, I work very long hours. When I come from here, from my job, I go home and I'm up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because I have that as my new end goal. And I have to, because you know what, y'all? I already bought that plane ticket, so I'm going. I'm out of here. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to make that plan and say, you know what? There's no plan B. This is it. And let me tell you, your mind will come up with all types of solutions and pathways for you to follow to make it happen. So whether you're in the projects or corporate America, the truth is the same. The system is not built for you to escape. But that doesn't mean you can't. It just means you have to work smarter. Think bigger and stop relying on the system to save you. Realize that you can stop playing their game and start building your own. I've been stuck too. And I'll tell you this, it's not easy, but it's possible. Once you take control of your mindset, you can start taking control of your life and get the heck out of here. See you in the next one.